Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. When Brooke interrupts Ridge, Finn gets ready to reveal to Steffy that he is Luna's father. Poppy and Finn revisit their dispute about her not informing him he was Luna's father in his office. Finn leaves, leaving Poppy alone as she sits there after pleading with him to keep their secret after he threatens to inform Steffy. Looking forward to getting back, Matthew Atkinson of Bold and Beautiful. Luna informs Bill at his house that Elektra and Will were present, but she escaped detection. Stressed out, Bill stresses that she is living there under house arrest with an ankle monitor and that she cannot be detected. When Liam appears, she is compelled to conceal once more since no one can know you are here. Bill assures his son that he is not required to visit him. Liam says he just wanted to drop by and denies that's what he's doing. Bill expresses his pride in Liam as they begin discussing concluding the Dublin deal. It would have been lovely if he had been present when everyone at the office celebrated, according to his son. Bill is scheduled to visit this week. Liam questions why he spends all of his time at home. Everything is fine, Liam, Bill chastises. I've got everything under control. Justin calls Ridge at the Forrester mansion and informs him that there is little he can do legally to assist. Steffy promises to stop Hope and Carter's nefarious coup. Steffy discusses how there was a bright side. He separated with Brooke and reconciled with her mother. Although he appreciates her support, Ridge growls that she gives the impression that Brooke had him chained up in the basement. To commemorate their anniversary, Steffy informs her father that she will be meeting Finn. Ridge gives her a hug and wishes her well. They will simply spend time with the children at home, according to Steffy. Ridge mentions that they almost lost her not so long ago. Yes, because of Luna, she responds. Carter tells Brooke in the main office that he needs to concentrate on the business. Ridge and Eric are essential to Forrester Creations, she laments. The absence of them is incorrect. Talk shifts to Ridge, who turns to Taylor, saying, "You know I'm right." According to Brooke, he felt deceived, not just by her, but also by Carter. She disapproves of how he and Hope handled the situation. Carter inquires as to whether she believes that she and Ridge will eventually get through this. Carter then resumes his work, but pauses and grimaces as he considers deceiving Ridge and Steffy into signing the LLC documents. Finn asks the administration at the prison for information regarding Luna's whereabouts. He begs the man to realize that he must meet Luna immediately, but he doesn't go so far as to claim to be her father. Brooke enters the Forrester living room, where Ridge is by himself. He informs her that Donna is not present. "I came to see him," she says. "This bothers me. Being in disagreement with you. It must be fixed. I still adore you. I am certain that you share my sentiments." They cannot allow the events at Forrester to separate them in this manner. Ridge is not interested in this discussion. She is the enemy because she sided with Hope and Carter. In an attempt to regain control of the business, Brooke was doing it for him. Simply put, everything is out of control. She is attempting to restore harmony and never approved of this. It's too late for that, Ridge informs her. Brooke believes she is making an impression on Carter, who is beginning to realize that this is not right. She apologizes for everything that has transpired. To gain respect in the fashion world, Ridge dedicated his entire life. It was gone in an instant. And you? Brooke was offended by how fast he switched to Taylor, thanks to his closest friend. Ridge refuses to discuss her. Brooke simply knows that they will always be connected. She is still prepared to battle for it, saying, "For now, Ridge, we have an unbreakable bond." He offers that he and Liam take the kids on the boat this weekend while they are at Bill's house. Kelly informed him earlier that today is Steffy and Finn's anniversary, and Liam responds, "It's a plan." Bill inquires as to whether Liam finds Steffy and Finn's alone time bothersome. Although Luna the madman confined her in a cage a few months ago, his son maintains that he is happy because she is happy. Luna hides, seeming disappointed. As Steffy gets ready for an anniversary party at the Cliff House, she flashes to Finn, popping the question, and smiles. Finn, I am very excited for you to return home. You're where? She ponders in her mind. Finn wonders if Luna is present at the prison. No, the administrator says. Finn inquires as to whether she was moved to a different prison. No, he replies. Then, Finn asks, where is she? Her release was impossible. According to the man, she is still incarcerated by California State Corrections. The man phones Poppy while he's by himself and asks her where their daughter is. Unaware that he hasn't returned home yet, Poppy implores him once more to keep the fact that Luna is his daughter a secret from Steffy. Steffy has a flashback of Finn saving her from the cage Luna had her in at the Cliff House. She gives him a kiss as he enters the room. Steffy sits down, gives him a drink of wine, and grimaces. Is everything okay? She asks. He is unsure. Did you have a long day? And tells him how meaningful what he does is. Even on their anniversary, she could never be upset with him for arriving home late. I forgot, exclaims Finn. She tells him she was only thinking about the day he proposed, which reassures him. She also considered other things, saying, not as pleasant. Finn inquires, what? Luna, she says. Just thinking about how you saved me, Finn, your wild cousin. We have surmounted numerous challenges. They have nothing but positive things to look forward to with their kids, now that all of the hardship and conflict is behind them, Luna, Sheila. They will not be torn apart by anything. Finn smiles half-heartedly at her. She is aware that he is not feeling well. Despite Steffy's assurance that he may tell her anything, Finn hears Poppy's voice, cautioning him to be silent. Finn adds there's something she has to know as he becomes emotional. Honey, I have something important to share with you. Brooke informs Ridge that she hasn't given up on them yet as Finn gets ready to tell Steffy the truth about Luna. Brooke questioned Carter about his conscience as Poppy attempted to vow Finn to secrecy. Finn reiterates to a protesting Poppy in his office that the test verifies his paternity for Luna. She reminds him that if he tells anyone the truth, it will destroy their lives together. He leaves abruptly. When incarcerated, Finn insists on seeing Luna. After explaining that she is still an inmate even though she is not in prison, the warden leaves. Finn demands to know where Luna is over the phone with Poppy. She asks him once more to keep this a secret since she doesn't know. At Bill's, he warns Luna that her presence is unknown and that she should exercise greater caution when his kid is present. She hides outdoors when they hear someone approaching. His father embraces Liam as he walks confidently in. Although Bill is usually pleased to see his son, he tells him he doesn't need to check up on him. Bill is proud of him, and they discuss business. Liam claims that being in the office would have been pleasant. According to his father, he will visit sometime this week. Liam is still concerned about the reason behind his remote work. Bill maintains that everything is fine. This weekend, they intend to take the kids out on the boat and talk about Steffy's anniversary. After a maniac confined her in a cage, Liam is simply content. Justin confirms to Ridge at Eric's that what Carter did was lawful. Steffy argues they still can't back down after he hangs up the phone. She is certain that Carter is the target of the coup, and they must use that. She is certain that Daphne will find it simple to sabotage Carter and Hope's relationship. However, she believes they must start a new front and persuade Carter that Logan ladies have indoctrinated him. Steffy believes that all of this has already produced a positive outcome. He broke the Brooke chain and was reunited with her mother. It's nearly worth it because of it. She'll support her parents no matter what. They recall that today is her anniversary. She and her spouse will be celebrating alone because the children are not present. She is delighted, and so is her father. They understand that Luna could have put an end to everything. Steffy recalls Jen asking her to marry him at the Cliff home. She wonders where he is and is eager for him to return home. After changing and lighting candles, she steps on a toy knight, which reminds her of Finn. Knight B&B. She gives the doctor some wine as he enters. He responds that he's not sure when she asks if everything is all right. They are celebrating their anniversary, she reminds him. He didn't remember. She reminds him of their past after telling him to put his day in the past. Steffy explains about how he saved her from his crazy cousin. Since nothing can separate them, they can now focus only on the future. Since he doesn't say anything, she feels something is amiss and begs him to explain. He claims that he would sacrifice himself for her and the children, but he must tell her something. Brooke and Carter discuss the company's future in the Forrester office. She reiterates that Ridge and Eric created it and that their absence is incorrect. She is certain he is aware of her correctness. He'll admit it, as well as the fact that things haven't gone his way. He didn't anticipate Ridge turning to Taylor that quickly. Although Brooke acknowledges that she was taken aback by how swiftly that occurred, Ridge felt deceived. Will she and Ridge live? Carter wonders. After leaving, Brooke sits at his desk and becomes irritated as he remembers deceiving Ridge and Steffy into signing the documents. Brooke arrives at Eric's house. Ridge informs her that Donna is not present. In reality, she is there to visit him. Brooke is certain that he still feels the same way for him. They cannot allow the events at Forrester to separate them. He informs her that she is his enemy and doesn't want to have this conversation. She maintains that she was appointed CEO solely for him and his family. She is attempting to promote harmony. Though she believes she is reaching Carter, Ridge believes it is too late. He describes to her how his best friend defrauded him of everything he had worked so hard to get. Brooke tells him that the speed with which he turned to Taylor upset her. Brooke is certain that she and Ridge have an unbreakable link, even though they don't want to talk about it. She is still prepared to put up a battle for that. For now, she continues. Carter tells Hope, if he apologizes, I'm having a hard time here. You want me to go to Steffy and Ridge? Startled Hope asks. I know it's okay, son, Lee says. You know? Finn asks. Lee responds, you and my sister. No couple should have to endure what Finn and I have. Steffy tells her parents, I don't think this feeling is going to go away. Sheila's chance adopts Luna and cures the inner killer. Despite being hunted, feared, and reviled for the majority of her life, Sheila Carter secretly thought she was more than the criminal everyone painted her as. Indeed, she had committed horrible crimes, scheming, manipulating, and even killing when it was convenient for her. Now, though, she saw an opportunity to change her story because the world was always pushing her to the periphery. And that opportunity presented itself as Luna Nozawa, a lost and hopeless young woman. The fact that John Finn Finnegan was Luna's biological father had come as a shock. Everything she believed to be true about herself had been destroyed by the reality, and the consequences had been intolerable. Her own father, Finn, was caught between upholding his marriage and doing the right thing. Steffy didn't want to be around her, and Poppy had lied to her. She had nowhere to go and nobody to turn, and Sheila discovered her just as she was about to lose it. Sheila had been monitoring Finn's life, constantly hiding in the background, waiting for an opportunity to intervene. And she knew this was it when she noticed Luna searching aimlessly while crying. With a cautious approach, she spoke softly and touched gently. Sheila remarked, "You look lost," with an unexpected warmth in her voice. Luna recoiled initially, instantly identifying Sheila. Sheila was a monster, deadly, and someone to be avoided at all costs, according to all the things she had heard. However, she didn't feel endangered at the time. She sensed being seen. With her words hardly audible above a whisper, Luna confessed, "I have nowhere to go. I have been deceived by everyone I trusted." Sheila, who knew that pain better than anyone, nodded. "My dear," she murmured, extending a hand, "you don't have to be alone. Join me. Allow me to look after you." Luna paused, her thoughts whirling. Could Sheila be trusted? Most likely not. But did she give a damn then? And most likely not. Taking Sheila's hand, she allowed herself to be guided into the unknown. Luna was taken by Sheila to a remote cottage outside of Los Angeles, away from the Finnegans and Forrester's prying eyes. Luna finally gave herself permission to experience everything there. The treachery. the isolation, the rage. And Sheila knew it all in a way that no one else had. Sheila had someone, to look after for the first time in years, someone who wasn't afraid to see her. Luna, the misfit, the unwelcome one, the one no one trusted, reminded her so much of herself. Sheila was giving Luna more than just a place to stay, she was giving her a fresh outlook and a means of transforming her suffering into something constructive. One evening, while they were sitting in front of a tiny fire, Sheila informed her, "You don't have to be a victim. Individuals will constantly attempt to write your story for you. However, you don't have to allow them to." Luna studied her, looking for any hint of ulterior intent, any indication that this was another ploy. Sheila wasn't lying, though. She was being honest for the first time in her life. Sheila had tried for years to win Finn's affection and show him that she was capable of changing, but he had never given her a chance. However, it's possible that Luna would. She might also be able to save herself if she could save Luna. Sheila Carter felt hope, something she had thought she would never feel again, for the first time in years. Luna's obsession with Will increases the risk of exposure. Mystery had always appealed to Luna Nozawa, but her most recent fixation with Will Spencer was beginning to conflate curiosity with recklessness. What had begun as a harmless fascination, observing him from a distance, deciphering his behaviors, and assembling the specifics of his affluent but complicated life, had devolved into something far more hazardous. Her obsession with him caused her to get more and more enmeshed in a world she had no right to be in. She was unable to stop, though. Not right now. Especially when she was almost certain of what it was about Will that drew her in like a magnet. Luna had initially persuaded herself it was innocuous. Will was, after all, the son of Bill Spencer, wealthy, well-connected, and developing into the same kind of dominant figure his father radiated. Will, however, was unique. He seemed more approachable than his father because of his innocence and interest about the outside world. Luna found herself studying him, learning his speech patterns, his mannerisms, and how he managed to live a life of riches and power without yet comprehending the extent of his effect. However, what had started out as a fleeting fascination had developed into something all-consuming. When she realized there was a potential of running into him, she had begun to appear at locations she knew he frequented, including coffee shops, private parties, and even Forrester creations. It had been simple to write it off as chance at first, but as the encounters increased in frequency, people began to pay attention. Always on the lookout for any dangers to her family and business, Steffy Forrester had started to suspect something. Luna's unexpected visit to the Spencers wasn't coincidental, and Steffy wasn't going to allow anything, or anyone, to upset the delicate balance of power in their society. After learning the truth about her parentage, she had already been suspicious of Luna, and now she was even more concerned when she started to show interest in Will. However, Steffy wasn't the only observer. Luna's interest in his kid had been discovered by Bill Spencer, who disliked those who lurked in the shadows around his family more than anything else. He had put in too much effort to keep Will safe, so if Luna believed she could simply force her way into his life, she was in for a surprise. The issue was that Luna didn't think so. She was attempting to grasp something that she couldn't quite put into words, and she didn't think she was doing anything wrong. In actuality, though, she was putting herself at risk of exposure, which may suddenly explode up in her face. She had previously made a mistake once, at an invitation-only gathering Will had been to, where she pretended to be there for unrelated reasons. But as soon as their gazes locked, she realized her error. Will had recognized her, and although he had been courteous, there had been a hint of mistrust mingled with interest in his face. The first indication that she was in too deep was that. The second was when she was accosted by Finn. "What precisely are you doing, Luna?" Finn's voice was tight, and it was clear that he was worried. As her father, he had observed her tendencies and her increasing obsession, and he wasn't going to allow her to become dangerous. Luna attempted to clarify, "It's not what you think," but she was aware that her voice sounded weak even as she spoke. "Then explain it to me," Finn insisted. "Because it appears that you are putting yourself in danger based on my perspective." Additionally, you won't like what happens if Bill Spencer finds out. Luna's heart was racing. She was aware that Finn was correct. She was aware that she was crossing a precarious line. She wasn't certain she could quit, though. Because she secretly believed Will Spencer had the secret to something she badly needed to comprehend, in addition to being captivated by him. However, she had unwittingly placed herself in the crosshairs of Los Angeles's most influential individuals in her quest for answers. Furthermore, if she wasn't careful, her obsession with Will would ruin her rather than merely expose her. John Finn Finnegan stood at a crossroads, his mind tangled in a whirlwind of chaos, betrayal, and impossible decisions. Ever since the shocking revelation about Luna's paternity, his life had been spiraling in ways he never could have anticipated. He had always prided himself on being a man of reason, a doctor who sought solutions rather than drama, but now, his personal life was a battlefield, and he was right in the middle of it. His wife, Steffy Forrester, was furious, demanding loyalty, while his newly discovered daughter, Luna Nozawa, was caught in the fallout of secrets long buried. And then there was Poppy, Luna's mother, the woman who had upended everything Finn thought he knew about his past. With so many forces pulling him in different directions, Finn had to make a move, but what would it be? First, there was Steffy. His marriage had always been a source of stability, but now it felt like a pressure cooker ready to explode. Steffy had made it clear, she didn't trust Poppy, she didn't want Luna disrupting their family dynamic, and she certainly didn't appreciate Finn's hesitation in taking a firm stand. "You have a family, Finn. Me, the kids, we come first," she had told him, her voice laced with frustration and fear. Finn understood her concerns, but he couldn't ignore the pull he felt toward Luna. She was his daughter, his flesh and blood, and no matter how much Steffy wanted to compartmentalize their lives, Finn couldn't pretend Luna didn't exist. But what was he supposed to do? If he chose to fully embrace his role as Luna's father, he risked pushing Steffy away. If he gave in to Steffy's demands and distanced himself, he would be betraying his own sense of morality. It was a lose-lose situation, and the weight of it was suffocating. Then there was Poppy. Finn was still struggling to wrap his head around the fact that she had kept this secret from him for so long. He had questions, so many questions, but every time he confronted her, she danced around the truth with half-explanations and emotional appeals. "I was protecting you," she insisted, her eyes filled with regret. "I never wanted to complicate your life." But the damage had already been done, and Finn wasn't sure if he could ever fully trust her again. But despite his anger, Finn couldn't ignore the deeper implications of Poppy's lies. If she had hidden Luna's true parentage for this long, what else was she hiding? Finn had spent his entire life believing he knew where he came from, who he was, and now he wasn't sure of anything. His trust in Poppy was shattered, but cutting her out completely meant cutting out Luna as well. And that was something he wasn't sure he could do. Then there was Luna herself. She was innocent in all of this, and yet, she was the one suffering the most. She had been lied to by her mother, rejected by Steffy, and now, she was looking to Finn for guidance. The thought of abandoning her made him sick, but he knew that being in her life meant confronting an entirely new reality, one that would make things even more difficult with Steffy. And yet, every time he looked at Luna, he saw a part of himself. The way she held back emotions, the way she sought understanding, she was his daughter, whether he had been ready for the truth or not. But time was running out. Finn needed to make a move before the decision was made for him. The more he hesitated, the more the situation spiraled out of control. Bill Spencer was lurking, watching everything unfold, and Finn couldn't shake the feeling that Bill knew more than he was letting on. Was Bill involved in all of this somehow? Did he know about Luna's true paternity before Finn did? And why was he suddenly so interested in Luna now? Finn had spent his entire life following logic, but this situation had no clear path forward. If he chose Luna, he risked losing Steffy. If he chose Steffy, he risked losing himself. If he trusted Poppy, he might be walking into another lie. And if he didn't act soon, someone else, Bill, Steffy, or even Ridge, might decide his fate for him.